Come on, ZACHANOVV, please. Oh my God. Hockey Guy 43 says, can I have 4 Pox shirts for my family? No, Hockey Guy 43, you most certainly, absolutely, 1000% cannot have 4 Pox shirts. You can't even have 1. What's going on, guys, and welcome to a franchise-altering video for your Seattle Storm Bears franchise mode. So we're here in year number, what are we, number 7, number 8? I don't know anymore. We've been doing this for so long. In our past franchise-altering videos, I think we've had 2, I think, maybe 3. I guess 3 because our first Stanley Cup was awesome. That was a franchise-altering video. The other one is when we signed ZACHANOVV, or sorry, when we traded for ZACHANOVV, and the other one is when we drafted Agent C and we drafted Big Mac in the year 1 NHL entry draft. I feel like those are 3 videos where we really changed the face of this franchise. We got our 2 best players, arguably, in Agent C and Big Mac. We ended up trading for a player who's been unbelievable in Slava ZACHANOVV, who's going to want a lot of money once we try to re-sign him. But those are our big franchise-altering moves. Now, this one is about to be another franchise-altering move. Dylan Strome. I think it's pretty much unanimous. He's got to go. All right? He needs a change of scenery. He's got 4 rings. He's going to be a valuable asset to any team. Now, he reached out to me on Twitter and to all the Storm Bears fans. He said, I can see the writing on the wall already. I'd like to thank the Storm Bears and GM xTechGaming for giving me an amazing first half of my career in Seattle, and I hope to always be considered a Seattle Storm Bears legend. Yes, you are, Dylan Strome. No hard feelings at all. Whatever team you go to, you are going to be a superstar. You got 4 rings. It's like Chris Kunitz, you know, you're going to bring that veteran experience. You got the Stanley Cup rings. Who knows? Maybe we'll meet up with you in the Stanley Cup final. That would be awesome. Now, what do? Dylan Strome's going to be gone. I'm still really not sure what I'm going to do. I've been trying to think about it like all day at work. I'm sitting there trying to think, well, what if we did this or that or this or that, and I can't come up with a solution. So I reached out to the assistant GMs and I said, I need your opinions on what to do with Dylan Strome. And Paul Nieminen, who I assume is from Finland, he's an Inanen, he says, Corey at center, he has sick face-offs, trade Strome for a winger. That is not a bad idea. Look at Agent C's face-offs, 89. Now, he's been an absolute monster on the right wing, especially this year. 73 goals, 127 points, setting career highs. But I think it could be really fun to put him down the middle with Keller and potentially Tolvanen, or if we trade Strome, who only has 80 for faceoffs, and he has really low offensive awareness, which you guys definitely pointed out to me. If we end up trading Strome for either a top-tier winger, or we could spend that money in free agency, or we could get a top-tier defenseman, Jacob Solani, or we could trade for picks and prospects, right? So there's lots of different options here, but I did screw up, and I want to say that I made a mistake. I should have got rid of the Dylan Strome contract at the draft, and I didn't, and I'm kicking myself right now because I have to re-sign a lot of players. And I don't know if we're going to be able to keep all of them, and I don't know what we're going to be able to do or what we're not going to be able to do. So all expire, and we got to re-sign ZACHANOVV, Chychrun, the Inanen, Ryan Poehling, new second-line center, Austin Pope, Ronnie Doyle, and the rest of the guys are for our AHL team. And as for goaltenders, unfortunately, we have to say goodbye to a Storm Bears legend, and that is Aaron Dell, coming in year number 2, I think it was, or year number 3, we signed him to a backup goaltending position. So it was year 1, 2, I guess like year 3 or year 4. He came in as a backup, went 15-3 in his, I guess not rookie year, but in his rookie year for the Storm Bears in his first year for us. And he went 15-3 with 2 shutouts. And this year, at a ripe old age of, what was he, 36? He went 13-5 with 4 shutouts. Now, throughout his entire career with the Storm Bears, get a load of this, he went 54, 16, and 8. That is impressive. 54, 16, and 8. That's unbelievable. He's got 4 Stanley Cup rings. He's been to the Cup final every single year he's been a part of this team. For the last 5 years, we've been a part of the Stanley Cup final, and he hasn't had a ton of action in the Stanley Cup final, but he's been there, and he's the man. But unfortunately, he's 77 overall. It's time for him to go. This guy is going to be our new backup, Andrei Karagadagov. You can see here, he's a Russian. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name. We'll have to come up with a nickname for him. He's a good Russian kid. He did pretty good in the postseason with Tucson. Unfortunately, they ended up losing in 7 games. He went 9-2-3, 3 overtime losses. That hurts. So what I'm going to do is I think we're going to play Agent C down the middle. Now, this afternoon, I called him up. I called up 1-800-AGENT-C, and I was like, hey, buddy, Cedric, do you want to come down to the Starbucks Center? I'll get you a venti mocha cappuccino, which is what he likes. I said, I want to have a meeting with you. Step up to my office. Let's have a little chat. And he comes there, Starbucks in hand, and I said, hey, what do you think about playing center? And he was totally down for it. So that changes everything. So with all that being said, I have a plan. Kind of. I'd like to sign ZACHANOVV and Ryan Poehling right now. I'd like to give a tender qualifying offer to the Innanen and to Austin Pope to buy us some time. Everyone else I will give a contract to just for our AHL team, but I'm probably going to let Jakob Chychrun walk to free agency. Now, it's not saying I'm not going to get him back, but he wants over $7 million, and I just don't have it right now. Until I offload the Dylan Strome contract, I don't have the money. So we're going to say goodbye to Chychrun for right now. I'm not saying he's not going to be a part of the team next year. We're going to weigh our options in free agency, and we're going to see what we can do after we offload the contract of Dylan Strome. So let me go ahead and re-sign ZACHANOVV. He's going to want 8.7, okay, for 4 years. So let's try $9 million for 4 years. That's a lot to pay, but he's potentially our new first-line center if the Agent C situation doesn't work out. Now, Jakob Chychrun, he wants a lot of money. He wants $7 million. We'll have to hold off on that. The Innanen, I'm going to give a tender qualifying offer. Worst case scenario, he goes to free agency and someone gives him a crazy offer of whatever he wants, like $5.5 million, and we get a couple of first-round picks. That's not the worst thing in the world. Ryan Poehling, our new second-line center, potentially, we might throw him on the wing as well. I'm not quite sure what we're gonna do, but he wants $5.7 million, which I'm not super stoked on. So I'm gonna give him 5.8 for 1 year. I'm gonna give him 1 year simply because I'm unsure if he's gonna stay at the 86 overall. He could potentially drop down to an 84 and just be a really good third-line center. He has great face-offs, which is awesome. And if he stays at a third-line center, that's fine. It's totally fine. Austin Pope, we're going to go ahead and qualify RFA, and then I got to go ahead and give a contract to all of these guys. I got to let some people go, and then we will figure this all out. So give me a second, and we'll get this all sorted out. Our draft a few days ago was awesome. We got this guy, 20 years old, 76 overall. We ended up hitting on a medium elite in the end of the first round, which is unreal. 67 overall. All these guys are hopefully going to play in the AHL next year. They were all really good picks for us, and I'm pretty stoked on that. Now, even if Ryan Poehling doesn't end up playing on the second line this year, I'm okay with having a really, really good third line center. Now, he said no at that much money. Wow. Okay, ZACHANOVV said no as well. Now, all these young guys obviously signed, which is good news. So they want a lot of money, and honestly, like, you might be thinking that's a ton of money to pay, but in year number 6, year number 7, the contracts get crazy. The cap is well over $105 million right now, so the contracts are a bit nuts. Don't get me wrong, they're a bit crazy. How about we go $9 million, 9.3 for 3 years? That seems pretty fair for ZACHANOVV. Now for Ryan Poehling, let's see what we can do here. Again, I'm very comfortable at a 1-year deal at 6.2. Okay, you had a big year, you're going to cash in, and you're definitely going to get a larger role this year. So I'm just scared he's going to drop down to like 84, 85 overall, and that's fine if he does. I just don't want to be stuck with that contract over 4 years. Of course, Ryan Poehling said yes, and ZACHANOVV still said no. Now, ZACHANOVV could be a bit of a problem. We could kind of do what we did last year with ZACHANOVV, where we couldn't get him signed during the re-sign stage, which I think is going to be a bit of a problem. Let me go 9.5. Let's try that. If this doesn't work out, I'll try a little bit more, then a little bit more, and then if it doesn't work out, we'll have to revisit it in free agency. Because when that happened last time, he actually wanted, yeah, see, he still said no there. He wanted less than what we were originally offering him. So I don't know, the game's weird like that. Let me go ahead and throw one last ditch effort to get him, and I actually gave a tender qualifying offer to everyone else. So even if we can't re-sign them, we're going to go ahead and at least get some draft picks, which is awesome. So let's go $9.8 million for 4 years. That is a lot of money to pay, but ZACHANOVV is worth it if he's going to be the best first/second line center out there. He's worth the money, absolutely worth the money. He still said no. Okay, so we're going to revisit that in free agency. It's a bit of a risk. You know what, actually, I'm going to go 10 million. I'm going to go, am I going to go 10 million though? Because I feel like in free agency we could get him for a bit cheaper. But then what if he re-signs with another team, kind of like Brady Tkachuk? But that's a risk we got to take, I think. That's kind of a risk we have to deal with. So now comes the big thing of going after the entire Dylan Strome situation. Now, yeah, ZACHANOVV didn't re-sign. That's fine. That's totally fine. But we actually have the cap right now, so I'm actually going to go ahead and offer him a contract. Oh my God, look at the free agency pool. Tyson Jost. He's a guy I really was scouting to get too. We could throw him on the wing. What's his face-offs like? He's got 86 face-offs, so pretty damn good, honestly. Man, Tyson Jost. This guy loves to score goals too. We could have a line of Keller, Agent C, and Jost. Or we even put Jost on the first line center. He's listed as a second line center, which is a little bit weird, but he's a 35 goal guy, 40 goals. I don't know, man. Okay, so let's go ahead and get the ZACHANOVV contract done, okay? He wants, what, 8.6? So I think if we give him 9.5, he's going to say yes. Look at all the other teams interested. Carolina, San Jose, Pittsburgh, Philly, Nashville, Edmonton. 9.75 for 3 years. Come on, ZACHANOVV. Do the right thing here. Do the right thing. Now, the Innanen and Pope I got to worry about as well. But, man, I would love to get Tyson Jost. And look who's in free agency. Morgan Rielly. Oh, man, I wish Morgan Rielly was like 27 years old. That would be awesome. He's 32, which scares me because it's pretty much the same player that OEL is. In a few years, he's going to be 84, 85, 86 overall. It's not really going to be worth it. Ooh, we got a GM mode legend. Josh Morrissey said goodbye to LA, and here he is in free agency. Okay, interesting. So let's go ahead and deal with Dylan Strome. Let's see what we can do here. Now, we have a lot of prospect wingers coming up as well. We got guys like Morrow, who's definitely going to be in the NHL next year, Walsler as well. So we don't technically have to trade Strome for a winger. We could move after a defenseman. Strome's got maxed out trade potential, which is awesome. Now, a lot of you guys want to see Jacob Solani, and rightfully so. I want to see Jacob Solani. Where does he play? Florida. He plays on Florida. I would love to see this guy. What's he making? He's making, it's got to be 10 million at least. $11.8 million for Jacob Solani. Now, this is I said this would be a franchise-altering video. He's a 45-goal defenseman, ladies and gentlemen. And they already have Ekblad and Trouba. Like, they don't really need Jacob Solani. Could you imagine? Oh, my God. Okay, God, where was he drafted? He was drafted first overall. Yeah, he was drafted in the year 1 draft. That's right. I made him better than Rasmus Dahlin. He was the kid from Finland. Oh, man, I do love my Finns. Like, I don't even know if that'll go through straight up. I mean, we're taking on a lot of cap. We really are. We're taking on a lot of money here. I don't think this will go through 1-for-1, and I'm kind of scared to try it, to be honest with you. So what if it does go through? That's just a big, big contract to take on. Oh, man. Oh, what do we do? What do we do? I'm going to have a look around the NHL to see if there's anything else that makes sense for us. But I really want Jacob Solani, and I know a lot of you guys want him as well. So Let me have a look, and I'll get back to you guys. Now, a player like Nick Merkley wouldn't be that bad. He's got 1 year left at $7 million. He is 88 overall. He's pretty good. Had a pretty good breakout year this year on St. Louis, who was a really bad team. They got a nice 1-2 punch there with Colton Parayko. That's another option, a much cheaper option, and we could also get some picks in there as well, or some prospects. Now, I guess we should probably talk about the situation with those two young guys. From San Jose, there was the center, Scrivens. You can see there, 82 overall. He's NHL ready. We have a lot of centers as it is. Yes, I'd like to get a franchise center, but I think we're going to say no on trading for the first 2 overall picks. I'm not saying I'm not going to do it, but I don't really think it's in our best interest right now. I think I'm going to wait. Although this Brodziak kid does look really, really sick, I think I'm going to go with my gut and go with a defenseman here because OEL is on his way out. In basically 2 years, he's going to be obsolete, so I would really like to get a young defenseman in here to take over for Ekman Larsson. It didn't happen in the draft, unfortunately. There hasn't really been like a Carlson or like a Jacob Solani in the draft yet, so I'm just patiently waiting for something like that. Danny Marr, what's he looking like? 49 points. Again, it's not all about the points. He looks pretty steady. 23 years old, so still very young. Two-way defenseman, 1 year left at $6 million. Okay, it's just another option. Now, this is an interesting trade. Nico Hischier for Dylan Strome. Okay, so Hischier's 2 years younger, making a lot less, although he does have a 1 year left on his deal, which does concern me. Nico Hischier had 86 points this year, 101 the year before, and that's because he's playing with a really good player by the name of Svengerg. Now, we all know about this guy. He once beat out Agent C, 69 goals 1 year for the Rocket Richard. Now, if we do pull the trigger on this, Hischier would be playing alongside of, in my opinion, a better player with Agent C. Then Agent C can continue playing on the wing. Oh, man. I'd love if Hischier had like 3 years left on that deal. That would make this trade just perfect. Man, look at Nick Schmaltz growing to an 88. Wow, good for him. He's had a pretty good year there in Ottawa. 88 overall. Unreal. Now, Forsberg is another option we could go to. 99 passing. Okay, that changes things. 99 passing. Ooh, him and Agent C together. He's got 1 year left at 6.9. Oh, man. He's not a centerman, though. He's not a centerman, so Agent C would have to play down the middle. Okay. All right. Now, they don't really have a bona fide first-line center either in Ottawa. Huh. Okay, that's another option for Forsberg. Now, here's that Bergenheim guy that we traded away, just so you guys can see. He didn't score a goal in the AHL, 23 points. He's up to an 80, so he's probably going to get some NHL time this year. I'd like to draft a center. I don't want to trade for a top 3 guy. It's just unrealistic. I mean, as unrealistic as this franchise mode has already been, I don't think it's in our best interest, really. Okay, so here's my options. We can kind of screw ourselves over in the cap situation with getting a player like Jacob Solani because, I mean, I would love to get it done. Trust me, I would love to get it done. But $11.8 million, that's a lot of money for the next 4 years. And with us paying Agent C 12, we got a lot of money on the books. I just can't see it happening. And I'm sorry, because I know a lot of people want to see it. I want to see it as well. But it's not really worth it. Now, Nico Hischier is someone I really, really like. I would love to get Nico Hischier. He's making 7.2. Or we go to Ottawa and we can get a little bit. We could get a little bit back with Forsberg. We could probably get a pick as well. This looks like it's too good to be true here with Forsberg and a first. I think that's what we should do. Forsberg has 99 passing, okay? I just think he hasn't had a superstar to play with. You know, his stats don't look great. That doesn't mean that he's not going to light it up. The guy has 99 passing. honestly, I'm going to pull the trigger on this. If it goes through, great. If not, I'm still going to try to make this work. Forsberg for Strome, another player in the 2019 NHL entry draft that we're going to have on our team, and a first-round pick for next year. Dylan Strome, thank you for everything that you've done for our team, but I think it's time for you to move on. Good luck in Ottawa. You're going to be playing alongside of two familiar faces, that being Philip Grubauer in the cage, who is still a legitimate NHL goalie. Look at that contract, $2.7 million. This guy won a Stanley Cup for them. And you're going to be hanging out with Nick Schmaltz. So will this trade go through? A first and Forsberg for Dylan Strome. Trade rejected. Okay, let's see if we can make this work. They have a bit of trade value that we can work with here. Let's also add Patrick Skirbeck. Skirbeck, is that how you pronounce it? He's a 21-year-old low elite playmaker. Let's go ahead and add that with the second. Will this go through? Trade rejected. How about just the second? Come on, that seems very fair. Trade accepted. On behalf of the Ottawa Senators organization, I accept your offer, and we'll see you out on the ice. Thank you, Ottawa. Good luck, Dylan Strome. Now, that might not be a very popular trade for some people. I think a lot of people were expecting me to go get Jacob Solani. I can't do it. I can't take on that kind of cap. Now we have $16 million to work with, so I can go ahead and sign Pope. All right, I can give Pope a contract. $4 million for 3 years. How about 1 year at 4.5. Okay, we'll go ahead and give that. The in, I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet, because I would rather spend the extra $3 million and get a guy like Tyson Jost, you know? Or I could spend, you know, money and get a pretty good defenseman. So I got to weigh out my, ooh, who's this? Chester Joseph, a low franchise. He was one of the guys that I created. Now, he didn't really turn out to be anything, it looks like. Now, he might replace the in on the second line. Huh. His stats are like all over the place. His offensive awareness is shit. I think that's the problem. So I'm going to steer clear of this guy. He can't be in my top 6 with that kind of offensive awareness. We really only have like $3 million to work with, which kind of sucks. So I don't think we're going to be able to sign Kyrou. Let's go ahead and see if we get these two guys, and then we can worry about everything else, because all I need to do is get these two guys signed. We can go to the start of the next year, and we can see what we can do, whether it's trades, whether it's this, whether it's that. And Ronnie Doyle, unfortunately, I think is going to have to go. Unless I can make something work here, I'm going to give a contract to these guys, and then we can figure it out. Now, we're going to go ahead and sign a medium elite goalie as well as Whitman. Now, we drafted this guy, traded him away for a first-round pick, and now we're going to re-sign him. Thank you very much, New Jersey. Thank you very much. Now, I really hope ZACHANOVV re-signs. If he doesn't, we are screwed. Ryan Murray. Oh my God, Ryan Murray. I can't do it, man. I can't do it right now because of the cap. I can't do it. I got to see whether ZACHANOVV's going to sign. I can't pull the trigger on a big move like that, because then if I take on that cap and he decides to sign, we don't have the cap. It's just a big problem. So that medium elite goalie decided to go to Toronto. Peros, Nugent Hopkins, they're all good to go. A first for no. Come on, ZACHANOVV, just re-sign, buddy. Whitman, there you go. We drafted him. He's back. That's awesome. Come on, ZACHANOVV, please. Oh my God. ZACHANOVV, are you kidding me? Wow. I am shocked. ZACHANOVV pulled a Brady Tkachuk on us? What? Oh my God. I hope Tyson Jost is still available. Come on, Jost, be there. Oh my God, he's gone. Oh shit. He went to Vegas? Are you kidding me? Vancouver got Jordan Kyrou. Oh my God. And the Kings got Tyson Jost. Oh no. I want to see some dollar value here. What happened? Player pick and trading. Now, I want to see how much the deal was here. Did we offer him more? I forget how much we offered him. Was it $9 million? So they offered him 80 grand more, and he goes to Vegas? What? Okay, well that changes everything. We have to make a trade now. It's a good thing I have a lot of low elites because we're going to use those to cash in. Look at our center situation right now. We have a third line center and a fourth line center. We're missing out on 2 centers. Well, technically, Agent C is going to play center this year. We're going to see how that works. We're going to go Keller, Agent C, and Forsberg. Let me write out our team and kind of see what we're missing. So we are missing out on a ton of players right now. We have Keller, Agent C, Forsberg, Tolvanen, Paling, and then X. We have Pope, Kachuk, Yakola, and then Morrow, X, and X. And we also have, on the defense, we have OEL and Hughes, Keatley and X, and then X and X. So we are screwed right now. We are screwed. Fucking guy went to Vegas. You know what? Now I'm just pissed off. We're going to go ahead and get Brodziak because we need a second line center, and I don't even care. I do not care. I'm pissed. You go to Vegas, ZACHANOVV? Oh my God. We're going to trade Dupre. I mean, it's great that we got him. That's awesome. He's going to be a really good player in the NHL. We're going to trade a 21st overall pick and our first overall pick next year in exchange for the first overall pick this year, Cam Brodziak. Will that go through? Trade accepted. Seems like a sweet proposal on our end. Thank you very much. Boom. There you go. Oh yeah, and since we lost out on the, oh God, Jacob Chikrin decided to go to New York. Our team's just fallen apart. 7.5. We could have afforded it, but I didn't know ZACHANOVV was going to screw us over and go to Vegas. Now we're going to go get a defenseman from the New York Rangers, and that is going to be Dave Comrie, who is a 23-year-old medium top 4 offensive defenseman. Now he's on a sick contract, $4 million for the next 3 years. He had 45 points this year. He had a breakout year, lots of assists. That's what I like to see. We are going to be giving up Thomas Dackel, who's a 3rd-round pick. We actually hit on. He's medium top 4, and a really good goaltending prospect in Yuri Kaminsky, but we have a lot of goaltending prospects, so I don't mind giving up a decent goaltending prospect in exchange to help out our defensive core. So Comrie, are you coming to Seattle? Trade rejected. Okay, I gotta add something else. What about like a late pick? I'm just upset. I'm just like, you go to Vegas with Brady Kachuk? Oh, you make me sick. Okay, a 6, will that do it in? No? Okay, I gotta add another sort of prospect here. The thing is, we're rich with prospects, which is good, which is helping me out right now. All these low elite guys I really don't care for. I mean, obviously I do, but we have so many of them and they're basically free. It's basically free candy. That's my last offer. That should go through. Trade accepted. We had to overpay for that guy like crazy. And I'm actually realizing now, I'm sure there's already a bunch of comments. Ty Ronning, I forgot about him in my initial roster mock-up. He's in there now. We're all good to go. Don't worry. We're going to go ahead and sign Ronnie Doyle for a 2-year contract at $4.5 million. And we got to get another defenseman here since we do have the cap. I have that Malik guy, but he's not quite good enough. Look at Nolan Langfeld hanging out in free agency. Oh, man. What could have been? We drafted him and it didn't really work out. That sucks. Sorry, buddy. Really hope Ronnie Doyle does sign. There you go. Big Mac's stoked about that. So is Tolvanen. They love this guy. Now, we did that Brodziak thing pretty quickly, so let me go ahead and justify myself with going ahead and trading for Brodziak. You guys wanted to see it. I said I initially didn't want to do it. I didn't want Radek Faska. No thank you, Dallas. But I said I initially didn't want to do it, but you know what? Since we lost... Okay, here we go. So the in is going to fetch us a 1st and a 3rd. He's going to Minnesota. I could match the offer, but we don't have any room for him now that we ended up getting Brodziak, so I'm going to go ahead and take the compensation. Hopefully the Wild aren't that great and we can cash in on that pick. So thank you, Inanen, but I wasn't going to pay $5 million for 35 points. Even though we gave him top 6 minutes last year, it just didn't work out. So Brodziak, what does that mean? We could use him as a center, we could use him as a scoring winger, we could use this guy in a lot of different situations. Brady Shea, no thank you. I mean, it's justified because we lost out on ZACHANOVV, which I'm still not over. I love ZACHANOVV, and I still don't hate the guy, but I really don't like that he went to Vegas. He could have went to Montreal, and I hate Montreal. He could have went and played for Toronto. Like, he could have went anywhere, but he goes to Vegas with Brady Tkachuk? Oh my god, that makes me sick. There might be some people that are going to be hating on me for not signing ZACHANOVV, not giving him enough money. I had so many different variables to take in, whether we're gonna sign ZACHANOVV, or whether we're gonna sign Chychrun, or what are we gonna do with Strome. I could never imagine ZACHANOVV playing anywhere else. It didn't dawn on me that potentially he decided to go elsewhere, but he went to Vegas? Anyways, I wasn't going to give him $10.5 million, even though he was asking for, what, 8.5? I know there's going to be people who said, oh, you managed that wrong. I don't really think that I did. I feel like I did everything right. I mean, there was some contract dispute last year as well. Maybe he just didn't want to be here. Maybe that's all it was. I don't know, man, but I wish him good luck in Vegas. He is 89 overall. They're playing him on the wing. 93 face-offs compared to 80. What are you doing, Vegas? So Brady Tkachuk and ZACHANOVV, they are on a line together. Wow. And Jacob Chychrun, I'm really sorry, man. I would have loved to re-sign you. I just didn't have the cap space. Well, I did after I found out that ZACHANOVV wasn't going to be signing, but there was nothing I could have done. I'm really sorry, man. I wish you the best of luck in New York. You were awesome for us. But ZACHANOVV really screwed me over. And here's Dylan Strome playing alongside of Panarin and Mark Stone. I just can't believe, I'm still in shock. I really am. So I haven't seen our lines yet. I haven't looked at it. Let's go see what we have to work with here. All right, so here's what we're working with. Clayton Keller, Agent C down the middle. He's going to try out playing center. We'll see how it all works out. And then Marcus Forsberg, 89 overall. It's a little bit low. Trust me, I know. 93 offensive awareness, 96 poise. His face-offs are pretty good, so we can throw him in the middle if it doesn't work out with Agent C. Physical category is great, 96 strength, 6'3", 211. He's a big boy. Second line, we got Tolvanen, Ryan Poehling, who did drop down to an 85. So you see what I mean there? I was concerned about that, so I'm glad I only gave him the 1-year deal. And then Cam Brodziak, the first overall pick from the Nashville Predators, 18 years old, breaking into the NHL. I'm very excited for this guy. We got Esa Yakola. We got Trevor Tkachuk, new third-line center, way better than Brady. And then Chad Morrow, the free agent signing, medium elite. He's going to jump into the NHL as well. And then we got this Dominic Kristic guy, who is a left-wing grinder. Again, another piece we ended up finding in free agency. Ty Ronning, fourth-line sniper, and then Austin Pope. Now, 4.5 for a fourth liner, that's not ideal. But you might be seeing him on the point. I may take out Malik. Actually, that's what I'm going to do. I don't know. Malik played pretty well. 30 points. Is he going to be anything for us, you think? He's what, a medium top 6? He's 24. You know what? I'm going to put Pope there. We're going to try this out. Hold on. Okay, let's try this. I had Walsler scratch, so he's going to go ahead and play on the fourth line. He was the guy we got in the 4th round, medium elite. Defensively, we're going to go Keatley, Comrie, Hughes, OEL, Austin Pope, and Ronnie Doyle. Okay, a lot of you guys have been telling me to put Pope on the defense. Let's try it, okay? I'm not saying it's going to be permanent, but let's try it. And in the cage, we got Big Mac and the Russian guy who we got to figure out a nickname for. Let me work out the power play, and we'll figure all this out. Okay, everything is all ready to go. Ryan Poehling with Agent C and Clayton Keller on the power play. Let's switch it up. Cam Brodziak with Forsberg and Tolvanen. Maybe we'll do something like this, actually. Hold on. Let's go like this. Let's give Brodziak the opportunity to play with Agent C. Brodziak looked up to Agent C while he was becoming a prospect up and coming in junior. He is a good American boy, Cam Brodziak. He's going to take notes from Agent C, and we'll see how that works out. So here's our AHL team, just in case you guys are interested. Vic Generous, what a guy. He's going first line minutes. There you go. He's going to get first line minutes with Lars Ekman Larsson and Sergei Bobkov drink Russian vodka for breakfast. He's a beast, Sergei Bobkov. There you go. Bob McKenzie went on Sportsnet Storm Bear Radio right after ZACHANOVV signed with the Vegas Golden Knights. He was quoted as saying, Seattle is a very different looking team going into 2027, 2028. Key pieces from their run of 4 cups in 5 years are now gone. Interesting to see if they can pull off another finals run with this new look team. So, I mean, the big man, Bob McKenzie, chiming in. So we got some big games ahead of us here. We got the Dylan Strome return to Seattle. Where are the Vegas Golden Knights? I need to play them. We don't play them for the first 3 months? What? Okay, we play them in January only 1 time? Come on, I need more. We only got 2 games against them? We got 3, we got 4. Okay, we got 4 games against them all year. Let's get 1 game of simulation done in this video, and that is going to be the end of this insane franchise-altering video. We got Trevor Tkachuk versus Cousin Matthew. First period, 1-0. Agent C picks up where he left off, scoring goals. Left wing, center, defense, doesn't matter, gets a big goal. Period number 2. All right, we come through with 3-0. Clayton Keller and Kristek. Kristek gets his first career NHL goal in his NHL debut. Johnny Gaudreau, the 5'7" girl, scores on Big Mac. Going into the third, 5-2. Agent C gets his second of the night, and Tolvanen gets in on the fun as well. 5-2. That's a pretty good first game. If that's any indication on things to come, we're going to have a very exciting year here in Seattle. I mean, we can dwell on ZACHANOVV going to hang out with that stinky guy over there all we want. I'm not going to worry about it. We have one job to do and one job only. It's not to win the Stanley Cup. It's to beat the hell out of the Vegas Golden Knights. I'll see you guys in the next episode.